Hey, what's going on, everybody? Boilon here, and welcome to another episode of Blogs with Boilon Friday. Today, we have quite a bit of things to talk about. There is lots of details in the blog that we're going to be discussing here today, including the finale, I guess, of the issue regarding the web milestone that happened earlier on in the week. We also have some pretty big data mines, which we're going to be covering on the back half of the video. There's a lot of stuff in there regarding free character shards coming your way that you'll want to take a look at. And of course, the main details of the blog. So if you're ready to go, everybody, let's boil this down. Now, before we get started with the main part of the blog, I do want to kind of cover this first. So this was the bang for your buck web milestone issue that, happened earlier on this week on Monday on March the 4th. You guys might have known that basically there was a point in time where there was and I think I recorded it as well, I believe, or whatever, and that there was essentially 40 web milestones that were active at the time. I don't know what the exact number was, honestly, but there was an insane amount of web milestones for bang for your buck, which is when you spend money and you get rewards related to that in a milestone. And it was insane. They kind of reviewed the data. They said that we found a small number of players who were able to take advantage of the situation and claim rewards from multiple milestones. I mean, it was a lot of milestones. Some have speculated that this has compromised the game's economy, and some players could equip gear tier 18 to many of their characters. We want to be clear that this has been greatly exaggerated, their words, of course, and this issue did not compromise the game economy regarding gear tier 18. This issue mainly affected Armory 16 orbs. The amount of 17 orbs were substantially smaller, and the amount of Armory 18 orbs were minimal. The data shows the number of players who claimed higher milestones multiple times were vastly lower than assumed. We care deeply about fairness and equity for our player base and how we resolve this kind of issue. With that in mind, we intend to take the following actions. This is a 4-point thing here, 5 points actually. One, a generous free claim. A generous free claim will go live on the web store next week that all players who did not claim any of this stuff during the issue will get. So I don't know what day that's going to be, but keep an eye out for that. And I don't know what their definition of generous is, but we'll find out about that as well. Number two, there's going to be 2 special offers which will go live on the web store containing rewards that could have been claimed from the duplicated web milestones. These offers will be at the $5 and $10 US dollars price point. Once the offers are released, they'll be out for 5 days for players to purchase. Now, I'm not someone who masks out stuff related to spending. So I don't know what the overall value of, say if you spent $20 on the strike pass and claimed the milestone 40 times, I'm not sure exactly what you would have got. And if you spend $50 or if you spend $100. So I don't know if these offers are going to have the value that the players are expecting, because I haven't really paid too much attention to that. And so I'm going to leave that to someone else to kind of talk about, but just know that this is going to happen sometime next week. So I guess take a look at it when it does happen and see whether or not this has any value for you, I guess, at the end of the day. Number 3, players who did not claim duplicated web milestones can purchase each of these offers up to 5 times. So $5 times 5, $10 times 5. So that's $75, I suppose, in total. Players will have varying opportunities on purchase limits for each offer based on the reward value claimed. This sounds like a lot of micromanagement. I wonder if they'll actually get this correct or not. And finally, number 5, the few players who did claim an excessive amount of milestones will not see these at all. We appreciate your patience as we worked on the solution on this issue. 2 offers will go live early next week, so I don't know, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Please keep an eye out for an inbox messages announcing that the web is available. So unfortunately, this issue is overshadowing all the positive content of the 6th anniversary. So let me know what you think about this response in the comments down below. I probably won't engage in any of this purchasing. It kind of reminisces me a little bit of the Armory 1415, which I did not take advantage of later on either. Found out that I didn't really need it. That being said, we know that the Armory 16s and above do contain gold, so we'll have to see exactly, what they're offering for that value, I suppose, whether or not I bite, but it's probably unlikely that I will. Anyways, yeah, that one's it. So let's move on to the actual blog. And here we are with the blog here, The Devil and His Details with Mephisto on the front cover for this one, of course. Charts are not available yet, except for raid rewards. Events charts will be linked, except for raid rewards. Event charts will be linked by 5 p.m. PST. From what I understand, they've been a bit behind. today with the blog post. There's been a lot of issues, and I don't know if they're going to get into it actually in the details of the blog. But some of you may or may not know that they're planning on changing the gear name. So they're axing the demonic gear name from the title because it is offensive to, I'm assuming, religious people. That there were a handful of envoys that made a fuss about this, and now that's going to get changed. It is what it is. I suppose they probably, because if you look at the names for other gear, it uses a different type of descriptions, and so I probably would have just left it at Crimson personally, and just to avoid this kind of stuff. But yeah, that's what happened, and that might be in the blog. We'll find out, and that's why they've been a little bit delayed over the last day or so. Like I said, there is the demonic origins. We'll talk about this one actually. I already mentioned this in my data mine section, which I pre-recorded, but this looks to be next week, actually, in fact. And the Cosmic Ghost Rider event, which I will mention in the data mines as well, that must be the week after that. I kind of recorded things in the reverse order, so my apologies if there's some overlap there. Incursion Raid 2, difficulties 1 to 3. Okay, so I wasn't sure if they were actually going to release a brand new raid or what the hell they were doing, because we know that the red gear is in the raids right now. Looks like we are indeed getting some new raid difficulties in 5 days. That's going to be on Wednesday. So I am looking forward to that and making sure my Alliance knows to get prepped, and hopefully that they have all of their raid teams up to snuff. And we'll see whether or not Bifrost or any of the early raid team lanes actually have any difficulty doing this. So we'll take a look at some of the stuff down below. Looks like March the 15th, we're also getting Iron Patriot's initial release. So my guess is there's going to be some sort of patch next week. Iron Patriots going to be on Friday. So there we are there. And Pact of Envy, I don't know if that's another costume, I suppose, for somebody else. And the Cabal Showcase. So that's next Friday too, which is going to be great for my baby account to get more free stuff. So I'm not going to go into huge details here about Mephisto. Lots of Envoy videos talking about the kits, talking about how they work. Specifically, Mobile Gamer has a lot of videos on this, so I'm not going to really deep dive. If you want to check them out, go check them out over there on Mobile Gamer's channel. And it's just a lot there. Like it's honestly the biggest Yu-Gi-Oh text kit that I've ever seen, and it's actually in here, but I'm not going to read it. Let's just put it that way. It is so long. There's so much to it, because it's not just his kit and what he does, but it's like he's got contracts that you use at the start of, and it's so different. Like, look at this. There's so much here. I'm sorry, guys. I'm just not going to go over it. Like, I can't. Most free-to-play players are not even going to see him at all for 9 months. So, we'll talk about it more later times when it's relevant, but it really is not relevant to 99.8% of players, including the majority of the people who watch my channel. Sorry. Iron Patriot here's, though, if you want to hear about his lore, you can read up on him. Again, the kits are here. I'm not going to go into that in detail here. There are tons of other videos that do that. I may do it at another time, but I don't think I really want to be honest, at this point in time. They are a Crucible 3-piece, though. Iron Patriot, Leader, and Namor. So I'll tell you that. And they're probably going to be really good. So they're probably going to be a team that if you're someone who focuses on Crucible, they're characters that you're really going to want to have. And I actually do like kind of smaller, these 2-3-piece teams, because there's not as many characters that you have to build. Also, there's hybridization, right? That you can kind of put other characters into the mix, and I like that aspect of it. They do synergize primarily with villain characters, so that's going to be fun to include other strong villain sort of drag and drop characters into this getup. The Namor update I heard is a bit disappointing, though, so keep that one in mind too. We're going to skip through all of that, though. I don't really want to discuss that here in this video. Iron Patriot offer, we talked about that. Rise of the Cabal. What is this? Oh, the showcase, right? Due to the smaller quantity of missions, you're going to be able to do this 40 attempts per day. This is pretty cool, because they were doing this with the 6th anniversary stuff, and I really like that. So there's the different stuff there. I think that's going to be going live on next Friday. Crimson Gear name update. There we go. I already talked about that, right? So we've received a lot of, specifically the Demonic Gear. There's an effort to be more inclusive to all our players. We're renaming it to Crimson, which is exactly what I just said beforehand, actually. So I hadn't read this in advance at all. So this will be happening pretty soon. Incursion 2 difficulties. Now, where this is as usual, so you need to reach 60% of normal difficulty to unlock 1, 70% to unlock difficulty 2, 80% for on 2 to get 3, blah, 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 blah. So that's great because currently right now my alliance is getting to around the 80% mark. So hopefully we can get into like, I would like to get into difficulty 2. I don't know if we'll get into difficulty 3 because then that might require a lot more pushing, a little bit of pushing possibly in the skill section, but we'll see. That skill section is not fun, and it's not even, it's going to be way worse at higher difficulties. So we'll see about that, right? The newly introduced Crimson Gear, we'll see how that scales as well. So I'm looking forward to knowing that and figuring that out as well. On difficulty 1 and beyond, your alliance must reach 60% to obtain bonus amounts of these orb fragments. Okay, the Armory 19. Yeah, so I already knew that. Gold drops removed from the Armory 19. If you're looking at blah, 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 Dark Dimension 7, Gear Tier 19, we know all this stuff. And then they're talking about the changes, which I already mentioned in yesterday's video about the Ultimus, all the other raid stuff, adding, you know, greens, blues, that kind of stuff as well. Incursion raid difficulty reward shards. So, okay, I'll bite. I'll take a look at like 1 and 2. Oh boy, okay. Crimson Gear raid orb fragments. This should be difficulty 1 that I clicked on. Oh no, it's all here actually, in fact. So let's look at the top. 15,000 for difficulty 1, 16%. Right now I'm at 0.60. So 13,000. So it's about 1 to 1.5 orbs, it seems, per difficulty. So it's not an insane amount, but everything's going to count, right? Armory 19 orb fragments as well. You're going from like, I'm at 1,300. It's going to go up to like 1,500. So not a lot. It's not a huge improvement, right? But like I said, every little bit will help. We have the anniversary event that's going to be starting the second week, right? There's going to be a opening up of the campaign chapter, so make sure that you are paying attention to that. That should be on Monday as well. So if you go into your campaign, then you'll see a second chapter open. Oh, all that's hitting me. If you go into the 6 times the strike, go into whatever difficulty, the second chapter is going to open up, and you're going to get 66 death pool shards among all the new stuff that you get to farm, and first time rewards, free claim. All that stuff there. You probably already seen it already because that would have happened at 1 o'clock. So this is the next event called Demonic Origins. Now this is going to have apparently Void Knight Shards and red alien spores. Now we don't have the event charts. Doesn't really matter. This event is going to be starting on March the 11th. So I will do a video for this on Sunday. So we're just going to really just skim past this because we'll be talking about this in the data mine section as well a little bit. Anyways, Machines of War. And then we have the quick rumble for Young Avengers. And so remember that everything in here is going to be subject to change. But let's get on over to the data mines. And now that we've gone through the blog, before we end the video, I do want to kind of talk about all of the things that are upcoming with relations to the data mines. There's a few things, a handful of things, and some really important things that I want to point out. Namely is that it's officially confirmed that we are getting a strike pass for Black Knight, which is really amazing. So I'm really happy about that. Honestly, I'm actually contemplating purchasing this for my baby account, my boosted baby account, because having a Black Knight on that account would just be absolute chaos. And when I mean chaos, I mean probably a lot of fun for me. But anyways, so this one that's currently ongoing right now is Red Goblins for the next 10 days. So basically expect Black Knights right after this one. So that's pretty good too. There is an upcoming event called Demonic Origins. Now, this is going to be for the arrival of Dark Dimension 7. I don't know. I think this might be next week. I don't know the order of these data mine events, actually, but I'm going to zoom in one more time. And you're going to get basically ways to earn some extra shit, basically. Gain progress in the 7-day event by earning anniversary orb fragments from campaign nodes, free claims and special offers, and by playing Cosmic Crucible battles. Fiendish rewards, including Crimson Gear. I mean, it suggests that it's going to be in the Milestone, but who knows? Void Knight Shards, Diamond Orb Fragments, Augmented Bio Gear, and earn points towards the month long. That's basically what it's going to be for the Astral Meteorite event item. And then there's going to be a web milestone, earn Alliance credits, and be rewarded with Teal Catalyst, blah, 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 blah. So whether or not this is a free-to-play Red Gear milestone, I don't know. We'll find out. Creator Spotlight for Updog. The Cosmic Ghost Rider release event. Now, I think this one is next week, and because that would make sense with the character releases since we've already had his offer release. So Cosmic Ghost Rider is going to be an arena ranked rewards payout. So the Stellar Spectre Orb Fragments. Now I think that Robbie, Ghost Rider Robbie was also an arena event, I think, if I remember correctly. And also, you're going to battle in war and completing the Galactic Ghost Web Milestone and free claims. There's going to be Cosmic Ghost Rider, more Void Knight Shards. They're really chucking Void Knight around here. And augmented Teal Gear, and then the Cosmic Tire month-long event item. The Eternal Vengeance leaderboard, which is also going to contain red gear in that. So yes, they're going to find every way to squeeze red gear out of you, leaderboards and milestones and whalestones and whatnot. Spend Incursion energy, Incursion campaign energy, and earn Blitz credits for the web milestone for this one. So you're going to have Incursion campaign energy, Blitzing, you're going to have Arena, and then War. So there's actually 4 things that's involved in Cosmic Ghost Rider this time around. So that'll be interesting, I suppose. And, expect the estimated value of the orb to be somewhere around 4 or 5. But, that's just, how it's been lately. Now, Iron Patriot, this is not an event, so it's not really that important. There's some event here called May You Tremble, the Infernal Contract, and a 6 red for Spider Slayer. I don't know if this is still March, but I don't know if this is an item for the March month long, actually, or if it's for something else, but it is a 7-day event battling with a villain. This could be part of the anniversary thing, but I'm not entirely sure. By battling with villains in the special arch enemies category in raids, war, Cosmic Crucible, Arena, and Blitz, as well as spending campaign energy. Milestones or rewards includes Kang the Conqueror, Lizard Shard, 6 red Spider Slayer. I think it's part of the anniversary thing. 6 makes sense. And all new Crimson gear. So again, I don't know if that part's going to be free to play accessible or not. And you can see that the points here are related to this new Arch Enemies tag, which is going to be in the game if it's not already. I don't know if it is actually. So there it is. And then there is a Battle Pass Season 17. The next one after is going to include Starbrand. That one isn't that surprising there. So some interesting stuff, especially related to Cosmic Ghost Rider, which should be coming just around the corner. And whatever this other Demonic Origins event is going to be. So that part's interesting. And that's going to be it for the blog for Friday. I hope everyone has a great and amazing weekend. Let me know what you plan to do with regards to all this new information. And of course, we're going to have the Saturday weekly update for my boosted account. And then on Sunday, we're going to have the math video. And from there, we're going to have more videos across the week, probably, I'm sure. So enjoy your weekend, everyone. And until next time, stay safe and healthy. And I'll see you all later. Boilon, signing out.